Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the witnesses for being willing to be here and serve in this capacity. It is truly appreciated, and I know it's not always easy. But currently, the permitting process that we're also concerned about is centered around the cumbersome bureaucratic process that delays and hinders so many energy products, as we're well aware, especially in Mississippi and my Gulf state. The lengthy and unpredictable permitting procedures have led to increased project cost, which discourages investments, as we well know, and hampers the path to regain energy independence. And addressing these permitting reform issues, we will be crucially looking and unlocking the country's potential for sustainable growth and prosperity in the domestic energy production. That's my goal, at least. Mr. Tapley, this question is for you, just a simple yes or no and any comments that you want to make. Do you agree that cutting red tape and enforcing strict timelines for permitting energy projects will help ensure electric reliability for local power companies in my state of Mississippi and across the country?
Yes, and I'll correlate that to the natural gas infrastructure that we would build to support those power projects. Ultimately, our goal there being certainty of outcome, understanding that the requirements of our permitting and review processes are thorough, and we're willing to work in that environment. But the certainty of timing is critically important to getting these projects done and maintaining your investors' interest in such projects.
And do you agree that a streamlined permitting process would provide more certainty for utilities and would therefore benefit customers and economic development, as well as increase safety and reliability of the natural gas industry?
Yes, absolutely. And the streamlined permitting process with respect to customer impacts drives directly to cost. Projects that are stalled, delayed, and ultimately canceled, there is still a cost to that development activity. Over time, customers can bear that cost, whether that be from affordability, also reliability, and potentially safety concerns.
And natural gas and LNGs have emerged as critical energy resources that the United States can produce domestically on a large scale. Mr. Tapley, how abundant is our domestic supply of natural gas?
Yes, we definitely, thank you for the question. We definitely don't have a supply concern with respect to natural gas in the United States. What we have is an infrastructure problem, getting infrastructure built to tap into the abundant resources across our country to serve not only domestic loads affordably and reasonably and cost effectively, but also the potential to serve the international loads, like I had mentioned earlier.
A good position.
Yes, a very good position.
In light of the administration's goals to decrease greenhouse gas emissions, do you consider the administration a willing partner in permitting and developing the pipeline infrastructure necessary for maximizing production of our domestic natural gas supplies?
Thank you for the question. I think right now we have challenges to production and infrastructure development across the country. Whether I would deem that a willing partner, that'd be hard to say right now. But I would say with the permitting reforms that we're talking about, ultimately those types of steps taken by this body and others can continue to move our country forward as well as the globe forward with respect to emission reductions that can be supported by natural gas infrastructure.
And to transmit, I want to transition to the importance of investments for the natural gas industry in these pipelines. What effects have the continuous delays due to the current permitting process had on the investment opportunities?
Thank you for the question. The continuous delays ultimately, since 2016, if you look at some of the major projects across the country, including the two that I used as examples in my testimony, resulted in cancellations. So ultimately, those are projects that were intended to provide benefits to certain constituencies and customer groups that were not delivered. So that increases the risk around reliability of service, particularly in heating seasons. It also impacts cost effectiveness of growth in those areas. So there's a number of different types of impacts that play through delays and cancellations of major infrastructure projects.
Thank you very much, and my time is up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.